The bridge stood ancient and defiant, its stone arches stretching over a black, swirling river. It was said no one crossed the bridge at twilight unless they had a death wish. The townspeople called it the Wailing Bridge, for its eerie cries carried on the wind every dusk. Mira clutched a lantern in her trembling hand, the glow casting flickering shadows across her pale face. She had no choice. Her younger brother, Elias, was dying, and the only one who could save him was the recluse herbalist, who lived on the other side of the bridge. Her mother had begged her not to go. Her neighbors had warned her of the curse. But as Elias's fever rose, Mira's fear for her brother outweighed her terror of the bridge. As she approached the first stone step, the air grew colder, biting through her thin cloak. The whispers began almost immediately, soft and indistinct at first, like distant voices carried on the wind. Mira's heart pounded as she stepped onto the bridge, the ancient stones slick beneath her worn boots. "Turn back?" A voice hissed, low and menacing. Mira froze, her lantern quivering in her hand. "Elias needs me," she whispered to herself, forcing her feet to move forward. The whispers grew louder, forming words that clawed at her resolve. "He will die. You will die." Mira clenched her jaw and quickened her pace, but the air grew heavy, and the whispers turned to wails. Shapes began to form in the mist, rising from the river, shadows of figures, their faces twisted in anguish. One reached for her, its fingers long and skeletal, but Mira darted past, her lantern's light flickering wildly. Halfway across the bridge the wind howled, and the mist thickened, enveloping her. Mira stopped, her breath coming in ragged gasps. A figure emerged from the fog, a woman in tattered robes, her hair wild and her eyes glowing faintly. "You dare cross?" The woman rasped, her voice like the crackle of dry leaves. "This bridge is cursed for a reason." "I have no choice," Mira said, her voice trembling but firm. "My brother will die without the herbalist's help." The woman tilted her head, her glowing eyes narrowing. "Many have said the same. None have returned." Mira's grip tightened on the lantern. "Then I'll be the first." The woman's laughter was cold and hollow. "Brave words." "But bravery cannot save you from what lies ahead." The mist swirled violently and the woman vanished. Mira pressed forward, each step heavier than the last. The wails grew deafening, and unseen hands seemed to claw at her cloak, pulling her back. She stumbled but kept going, her brother's face etched in her mind.
Click here for part 2.